love doing the sound effect. I'm Mike Avila with SYFY Wire, and I'm here at Rancho Obi-Wan with the first fan of Star Wars, Steve Sansweet.
Hi, Mike. Welcome. You want to see some things?
Yeah, I think I kind of want to take a look around.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Wow.
A lot of stuff.
Steve.
Come on down.
Take me into paradise. Show me around, please.
Well, right at the center of things is the Tower of Power, the Tower of action figures. There were 114 carded action figures from 1978 through 1986. And they're guarded by 576 stormtroopers.
And this is important because a lot of these action figures are quite valuable in their condition right
here,
there.
Yes. The ones in the case, that's why they're guarded. Well, here we have some cantina masks from the actual molds. The Duros, George liked this look so much, he made him Cad Bane in the Clone Wars animated series, some unused hands, and the Given, the background creature that looks like the painting.
Do that again. That was good. That was a good face.
Yeah. And somehow I ended up with one of the bounty hunter's crotches. It just happened. Forlom.
We'll just leave that one alone. Tell me about this hat. The Star Wars saga continues.
And it has Carrie Fisher's name on it. She never wore it because she'd never showed up at the press junket in Hong Kong. Maybe she saw the buns on the top. I don't know. And an actual screen-used C-3PO costume hand and one that was not used. And a piece of the actual Millenium Falcon, the full-size Millenium Falcon built for Empire Strikes Back. It was 60 feet in diameter, weighed 20 tons, and after Jedi, they crushed it because they had no use for it. And Anthony Daniels walked through the scrap heap, picked up about 10 pieces, and sold them at ridiculous prices to stupid collectors, but, you know, what are you going to do? So I was on the set of episodes 1, 2, and 3 for about a week each, leading fan magazine editors. I promise I did not take a hatchet to Amidala's palace, but and then over here I was in Sydney, Australia, in the creature department while they were trimming the new Chewbacca costume, and I was merely helping them clean up.
Yes, I'm sure that's why
Couldn't find
a
the trash
tuft
can.
of Chewbacca's hair ended up in this display case.
Well, yeah, something like that. And my favorite, the last remains of Qui Gon Jinn. So I was there when they burnt Qui Gon at the funeral pyre. Of course, they couldn't burn Liam Neeson, too expensive, insurance and all that. It's a high temperature melting wax dummy, just in case they had to reshoot it. And so the flames come up, George eventually calls cut, and two guys come in with fire extinguishers and then lift the wax dummy and they go out the back. The set breaks about 5 minutes later, everybody goes out front except me.
Of course,
and
lagging
so
behind.
I'm going out and trying to find, you know, where the dummy is, and there was no sign of the dummy. There was no sign of the guys, but there in the grass was this wet, soaking, mushy pile, almost looked like mud. And I bent down, and I found some pieces of Qui-Gon's boot, his belt, a food pellet, and the only unburnt piece of Qui-Gon's cape. This is the actual Boba Fett prototype rifle that you see in this toy, and it's made of resin from an Uzi submachine gun, and the tip of it is the same thing that they used to make early lightsabers, and that's a Graflex tube.
Oh yeah, you can see the similarities.
Early photographers for flash tubes.
So this is the library.
This is the library. There are thousands of books in here. One of my favorites.
This is the Guinness World Records book?
And this is the first year that they recognized that I had the world's largest collection of Star Wars memorabilia. And even though our database was only 90,000 items, the chairman of Guinness, the editor of the book came here all the way from London because he loves Star Wars and saw all the stuff and took my word that we had at least 300,000 items. And that was about an undercount of about 100,000. But, you know, who's counting?
That's got to feel awesome to know that you were recognized globally as the owner of the largest private collection in the world.
It's pretty wild. And as I said, I never set out to own the world's largest collection, but you know, when you're a true collector and when you have the opportunity, and I love this so much, and I love to share it with fellow fans and collectors. So that's what makes it a really special place, and that's why Rancho Obi-Wan came about as a nonprofit. Here we have, this is a cast and crew gift for Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars, as it was named originally. And these are hand-printed photos. And this I got directly from Gary Kurtz, the producer of the movie, but the ones they gave out to about 200 cast and crew actually had a signature in the back. This one doesn't. Somebody wrote, you know, thanking you for your, you know, working on the movie, and then both Gary Kurtz and George Lucas signed it. This book they have not signed.
That is incredible.
It's a neat book, very neat book. So I've written a couple of Star Wars books.
One or two.
19, and these are them in various editions.
Your books are like your children, but anyone in particular you're most proud of?
Well, you know, I did this encyclopedia. This is one of my first books in 1998, the Star Wars Encyclopedia by myself. And then 10 years later, the encyclopedia became 1.2 million words, and it took another 6 people to help put this together. So I was sort of the editor of it more than the writer of it.
It takes about 6 people to lift it.
It takes about 7 people to lift
it. Heavy lifting, folks. That's an awful lot of Star Wars.